In this lesson, we will learn about the first technique for handling exceptions in threads. This technique involves writing a common bit of functionality that is applicable to all threads in the system. Now, some of you may ask, what is so special about handling exceptions in regards to threads? Well, it may come as a bit of a surprise for those who are new to threads that uncaught exceptions that leak from threads cannot be caught directly. You don't believe me? Let me prove it to you. As always, to save time, I have a skeleton class here handling uncaught exceptions for every thread. This will be our main class. We also need a task that throws an exception. So let's create one by the name of exception leaking task. As implementation of the run method, we will have only one line, and this line will just throw a runtime exception. We cannot throw a checked exception because the run method does not declare any checked exceptions. Therefore, we are forced to handle all the checked exceptions inside the run method only. You can think that we are calling some third-party code from the run method, and this runtime exception has leaked from there. We do not want our application to go down because of faulty code in some third-party library. So it is essential that this runtime exception be handled. Let's try to handle it in our main class. We are going to run a few instances of exception leaking task first without handling any exception, just to see how this code behaves. Running this class now. As expected, the console output shows us 4 runtime exceptions thrown by the 4 tasks. You are seeing the exceptions overlapped on each other because this laptop has a quad-core processor and the threads truly ran in parallel. They threw exceptions at the same time, more or less, so the error stream became garbled. Note that with each exception, the stack trace also gives the name of the thread in which the exception occurred. Let's try to handle the exceptions now by encapsulating the threads in a try-catch block. I know that to catch 4 runtime exceptions, I must have encapsulated each individual thread in a try-catch block. The way I have coded the try-catch, it is hooked to catch the runtime exception in the first thread only, and the rest of the 3 threads may not even run. But that's okay. If we are able to catch exception from one thread, we can easily change the code later to let all the threads run and also catch exceptions leaked from them. So running it again now, we see a lot of stack traces, 4 in fact, and nowhere do we see our caught exception message. The exceptions have gone right through our try-catch defenses there. Secondly, we note that all the 4 threads have run. We see their names too in the stack traces. Anyways, this proves that the exceptions in threads cannot be caught directly by using try-catch. So how do we handle those exceptions and stop them from killing our application? Well, for that, there is an inner interface in the thread class called uncaught_exception_handler, which we have to implement. It has a single method, uncaught_exception, that needs to be overridden. It accepts 2 parameters, a thread object and a throwable, so you know what exception occurred in which thread. After implementing this interface, what do we do with it? How will the JVM know that we have implemented this interface so that it can call its uncaught_exception method when a thread leaks an exception? The answer is there are 2 techniques to make the JVM aware of our handler. You can either use any one technique in your application, or you can use both the techniques in combination too. This gives us 3 techniques to handle the exceptions. In this lesson, we will discuss the first one. The first technique entails setting an instance of uncaught_exception_handler as the default handler for all the uncaught exceptions in all the threads across the application. In other words, there is just a single instance of uncaught exception handler for the whole application. This can be done by using the static setDefaultUncaughtExceptionHandler method of the thread class. Obviously, it takes a parameter of type uncaught_exception_handler. So whenever an exception occurs in any thread in the application, the JVM uses this handler to handle the exception. We will see this technique in action now. To handle the exceptions, we first need to have an implementation of uncaught_exception_handler. So let's create one by the name of thread_exception_handler. As implementation of the uncaught_exception method, we are just going to print the exception out to the console. Let's add a constructor too. Using this constructor, we can give an ID to each instance of this handler class. Let's add the default noargs constructor too, so that we can use it if we do not want to provide any ID to the handler instance. We also need to override the toString method to print the identity information of the handler instances. This completes our handler implementation. Let's now see how to let the JVM know of its existence. We are just going to use the setDefaultUncaughtExceptionHandler method of the thread class to register an instance of our new threadExceptionHandler class. Simple. I have also provided an ID, default_handler, to the handler instance. There is no need for the try-catch block now. The main class is ready. Let's run it now. We do not see any stack trace in the console now. Instead, we see 4 messages that print the ID of the handlers and the names of the threads whose exceptions have been caught. Note that the ID of the handler is the same in all the 4 messages, whereas there are 4 different names of the threads. This means that the same instance of threadExceptionHandler was used by the JVM for all the threads, which is as expected. So we have successfully saved our application from going down because of some faulty third-party code. This completes the current lesson. In the next one, we will learn about another technique for handling thread exceptions, whereby you can specify different exception handlers for different threads. Till then, have a nice one.